And welcome to your LSU football fix. I'm Preston Guy, staff writer at tigerbait.com. Today's show is presented by Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. Y'all, I don't think I've ever seen a game like what we witnessed in the Superdome this weekend. Trying to work through it. Oh my God, y'all. We like to pretend as sports journalists we're robots and objective and emotionless. That's kind of what they train us to do. But y'all, I'd be lying if I showed you my Apple Watch heart monitor at the end of that game. You would never believe I have my emotions removed ever again. Um, it was a messy, sloppy game. There's a lot of questions to be asked. There's a lot of doubt to be cast. We're going to talk about all that tonight. I did want to throw some positivity because in the post-game show, if you listen to us, we were pretty negative, pretty bashing on a lot of things, and deservedly so. But I figured on this show I'd take a chance to do a positive spin. I am excited about Southern's athletic director Roman Banks coming on the show. I'm going to ask him why LSU and Southern has never been a matchup before. But before we dive into everything, see a few more people trickling on in here. We're gonna go ahead and throw on Tremonti's real quick. Give them a shout out for sponsoring our show. Of course, they're your tailgating and homegating headquarters for the 2022 season. 30 kinds of meat and sausage, venison, all the good stuff you want. They do deer cleaning during hunting season. They're the home of ribeye rolls. Y'all, they're located on the corner of Airline and Jefferson, right behind Parkview Baptist. Y'all go give them a try. It is good stuff.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Thank you, Tremonti's, for making our LSU football fix possible. Great show from you and Mike in the car. Thank you, Michael Sutherland. It's a little wild. It was a tight setup, but we made it work. I think we're going to be doing that. We used to do walk to the car from Tiger Stadium. I think we're going to try to do it in the car. The thought occurred to us that we're riding home together and there's just a lot more time fighting that post-game traffic than there is just walking to your car, and we could be doing, producing more better content by doing that. I think people kind of like the informal feel of those, in the car or whatever post-game shows. We like to do it a little different than our little studios we have set up. Jaden Daniels was a hog, y'all. This weekend, I went and rewatched the film. I watched Carter the Power Bryant's film breakdown. Y'all, he didn't have much time to pass. His receivers weren't giving him much help. He wasn't flawless by any stretch of the imagination, but dude was running for his life. All 5 offensive linemen I saw on Pro Football Focus graded in the 50s. I thought it was interesting this morning. T-Bob was talking about how he graded in the low 60s one time, and it was the worst day of his life in the film study. All these offensive linemen guys had an absolutely rough day. Let's see if we get any comments here. If you ever have an opportunity to go to the Superdome floor and look up, you will see how difficult it is to pick up the ball. Not the same as playing outdoors, as a ball can disappear. Okay. So I actually have played on the Superdome before. I played in the state championship in high school. I was actually on the field Sunday night. It is looking straight up. I will never forget that feeling of just how high that bubble is, because it's funny, the stands, like the top, the nosebleeds, it doesn't actually look that high from the field, but when you look straight up into those catwalks, dog, It is so high, it's kind of scary. Let's see here. JD was the only reason the game was close. Florida State would have won by 21 if he couldn't scramble. Yeah, I totally agree, man. I mean, Jaden Daniels was the heart and soul and motor of this offense. He was all the reason why LSU was able. I mean, he was your MVP, 328 of 348 yards. He missed on 4 or 5 throws. He was a little too antsy in the pocket sometimes. But y'all, I mean, what do you think any other quarterback's going to do in there as soon as they get the ball? They're running for their lives. Brad Davis has his work cut out for him. Brian Polian has his work cut out for him. As someone comments, I don't know if they're just trolling or maybe some more Notre Dame fans. This was also a fun weekend to get trolled by other fan bases. Barry Barbier says maybe Brian Driscoll's spot on. Of course, he's talking about how he said Brian Polian was a terrible special teams coach. Well, look, if he doesn't improve, and we keep on seeing what we saw this weekend all year long, he's absolutely right, y'all. It's not even a debate. I look at a lot of the issues on special teams. Maybe they should have done a better job vetting the kick returner. There's not really much you can do. I mean, yeah, you can teach a guy technique how to field a punt, but ultimately you either have the hands or you don't. So it's just about vetting your guys and making sure you got the right one to go out there and field those punts. That's what it comes down to. Y'all, this was some sloppy football going on. LSU. You missed 2 field goals. You had 2 field goals blocked, y'all. You could not block a soul on offensive line, but you could get your kicks blocked. You dropped 2 touchdown passes with your best All-American receiver. And you still lost by 1 point because Florida State darn near coughed up the game, y'all. I've never seen a toss dive called on 1 yard like that. You got it in the bread basket. That's some Les Miles stuff right there. So a lot of people are trying to take away the 99-yard drive from Jaden Daniels saying it was prevent defense. Y'all, that's literally insane. Don't come up in here as an adult and tell me, oh, well, it was a prevent cushion defense. First off, it's not a prevent defense. Prevent defense means you're literally sending 7 guys back. It was a softer defense. They gave some cushions underneath. There's a 99-yard field goal in 100 seconds to go? That's called coaching, y'all. But anyways, it's 99 yards and you have 2 timeouts with 2 minutes. That's one of the most impressive drives I've ever seen at LSU. He deserves all the credit. Kevin, I'm going to say this last name is Vache. Kevin Vache. Kevin, tell me if I got your last name right. Ramos did his job. He didn't miss. He didn't, but I'll say this. Watching the game film, it looked like he's got a little bit of a low trajectory on his kicks. We questioned in the post-game show if it was a slow kick. I don't think it was particularly slow. I don't think it just looked like a normal kick. I'm sure there's some professional kicking timers out there, but we shall see. Let's see here. Get some questions in before we bring in Roman Banks, Southern's AD. I'm excited about this one, y'all. I hope you didn't take blood pressure meds because this is going to be a weekly tradition for you boys. Chris Davidson, I'm assuming you're a Notre Dame fan. Dog, we survived the Les Miles era. Look, the cardiac cats are a real thing, man. Mark J. We need to work on special teams, tempo, tackling, right tackle, and linebacker. That's it, Mark? The funny thing is, that's not even it. Look, there's not an offensive lineman on the team. Like Anthony Bradford had some terrible misses, and the run blocking too, by the way, was not great. Dellinger, who probably had the best game blocking, he took 4 points off the board by some popping one right over Jaden Daniels' head. Will Campbell had his struggles, and even Miles Frazier, who I believe had the least struggles, but he still struggled nonetheless. Tackling, they had 16 missed tackles. Now, I thought the scheme on defense was actually not that bad. There was some twists, some stunts, some confusion. Some DBs were playing aggressive. I think the defense really kept you in this game. In fact, the defense is the reason why this game doesn't feel anywhere near as depressing as the UCLA game did a year ago, because the defense looked pitiful, the offense looked pitiful. You didn't really see any hope for anything getting better either. Offense, I thought the play calling was really dry and mundane, but then I watched Carter's breakdown this morning, and he did a really good job of like, look, guys, these are aggressive attacking tempo plays. You just aren't getting any blocking. You can't do it. Jaden Daniels is literally getting the ball and running for his life, and thank God he did, because if he didn't, that would have been nasty. Guys, I just want you to know, that really should have been like a 45-7 blowout last night. Like, it wasn't a 1-point loss. LSU got their butts handed to them. Absolutely handed to them on a silver platter. It's just Florida State made a lot of dumb blunders, and quite frankly, I think LSU just kind of out-talented their way in a lot. Like speed, with that last drive, 99 yards, those offensive weapons just rocked. Now, in the trenches, Florida State won. Y'all, those defensive linemen for Florida State, but you know what? You're in the SC, you're LSU. You need to be able to handle linemen that are no joke. Got some good comments here. Let's see. I don't think Les knows that Bird made the catch. See, Kevin Vache, I was telling y'all about the cardiac case. Y'all, Les Miles blundered so many games here, made him unnecessarily close. Sad LSU fan. I need a heart transplant. Yeah, me too, man. Brian Polian needs to do his job. I'll tell you what. Brian Polian will probably be one of the first to tell you he absolutely needs to do a better job. These mistakes look correctable. The offensive line is going to be tough to fix, y'all, because that just takes experience, chemistry, muscle, a lot. I mean, it just takes a lot. Sometimes teams do gel and to get it, but that's not as easy as say like, okay, well, you muffed 2 punts. Let's just get a new punt returner. I mean, you think, I bet you stick Jack Besh back there. He ain't dropping them. So we'll just have to see. Coach did name a couple guys today. I'm trying to remember who he named. I don't have that on my notes in front of me, but he named a few guys that they're going to be trying back there. He didn't disregard the notion of putting Malik back there, but I can't imagine a world where after 2 muffs like that, where they keep Malik in there. I just can't see that. Let's see here. Want some positive feedback? Positive feedback? All right, I guess I'll dig some up. Jaden Daniels is a stud, y'all. Absolute stud. I mean, 2 touchdowns, completed 74.5% of his passes. I remember telling people, like, one of the things I'm looking for is if he were to go, like, no interceptions, no major accuracy issues, 18 of 25, 250-ish yards. I was telling people last week that if he puts up a stat line like that and a plethora of other things LSU hits on, watch out, LSU could be a playoff team. I wasn't advocating LSU's a playoff team because I didn't think they would hit on it. I'm just telling you, these are the things they did hit on. Well, LSU hit on that one. Jaden Daniels looked really good, y'all. No doubt about it. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all about a really cool special going on this weekend. So LSU Southern sold out, y'all. If you haven't gotten your tickets to that one yet, oh, man. My show stuff's not wanting to work here. If you haven't gotten your tickets to that one already, well, I was going to tell y'all about Celebrity Theaters hosting the game, but my brand assets are not wanting to work here. Don't know what's going on there. Anyways, Celebrity Theaters is hosting a watch party in their awesome theater with great sound. They're doing drink specials, nachos and a Coke for $10. They've got beer. They've got frozen daiquiris, y'all. Go check them out. The sound is incredible. It's literally like one of those reclining theaters. I'll figure out what's going on with my ad assets here in the software. It is just not wanting to work, not even a little bit. We'll figure that out later, but let's talk some more positivity. Game 1, there's a lot of work to do. That's right. He's rebuilding this team with super glue and duct tape. A lot of people don't understand that looked like a team that had 37 scholarship players and 50 new faces brought into those 37 scholarship players, and a whole new coaching staff and a whole new back staff, and everything was brand new. That is legitimately difficult to overcome, y'all. I mean, it's a lot of new faces, a lot of new folks. You know what I mean? Like give them some time. I'm not saying like that's the standard. Like obviously it's not. Like if that's what you're seeing all year and going into next year, because regardless if he goes 0-12, you're sticking with him. But he won't. But if you see that all year long, then yeah, get your knives and pitchforks out. You know what I mean? Like get ready to trace them. Sorry, y'all. I got a little cough. If my voice sounds a little weak tonight, it's not because I was screaming at the game. It was I just got a little cough I'm working off. 10 million for that. Paul Feinbaum. Oh boy, gotta get myself straightened out here. BK on the hot seat, like I said, 0-12 doesn't lose his job this year, y'all. There were adjustments at halftime, and the team did not quit. Last 2 years, the second half would have been worse. I agree with you, Mark J. I mean, like I said, the fact that we saw some fight like that in the second half after it looked so dismal, very encouraging. Sounds like they are doing buy one, get one pride free. Oh, man. Oh, man, that is funny. It ain't going to be free. Neither one of them going to be free, dog. So 90% of his contract is guaranteed. So you're on the hook for $90 million, whether you like them or not. Boosters better get ready if you want to run them off already. Edward O. What's up, Ed O? Ed O, you had a great quote today. Anybody see the Ed O quote about, 17.1 million? Which door and when you want me gone? Nah, Coach O's a national treasure. You might end up at 6-6. Just hope you don't make one of those big bowl games. If you do, it's a bad deal with Kelly as coach. I'm bumping them down to 7-5. I thought that was a win this weekend. Obviously, it wasn't. I think State's going to come in here and do their thing, but they're going to have to clean up a lot, y'all. I mean, yes, these issues I pointed out you can clean up, but bear in mind that, Florida State, I'm not expecting, like we talked about on the postgame show, they're like 5th in the SEC East, in my opinion. There's a lot better teams than Florida State on your schedule coming down, because they all look freaking good, except for maybe Texas A&M, but they all look freaking good out there, man. I mean, Florida looks like man, Anthony Richardson's a baller, y'all. And I just got a little cough. My throat's been bothering me. I'm sorry if it's not the best audio for y'all tonight, but I'm gonna try to suck it up, and have a good little show for y'all. We're gonna have Coach Banks in here in a bit. Yeah, Mike, I know Florida State's in the ACC. I'm saying if they were in the SEC, it's tough to gauge because, like, okay, they might finish second in their coastal division or whatever in the ACC, but the ACC it's a wackadoodle conference. And the SEC East, I think I think Kentucky's beating them. I think Tennessee's beating them. I think Georgia's taking them to the woodshed. By the way, the fact that Florida's not number one in the country after what they did this weekend, it's a gosh darn travesty. What are you watching, guys? I mean, look, I get Bama was good. I get Ohio State beat Notre Dame. Yo, that's the defending champs. And they got some freaks on that squad, y'all. Look, ain't no excuse for it. Alrighty. Let's hear from Tremonti's, because they, of course, make this show possible. They are our title sponsor and have been for 2 years in a row now. So let's hear from them, and then I'm going to go straight into Coach Banks for y'all.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Alrighty, and thank you, Tremonti's, for presenting today's show. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, Southern Athletic Director Roman Banks, former basketball coach for the Jaguars, has been kind enough to take some time out of his day to talk to us about the LSU Southern matchup coming in football. Coach Banks, we've been waiting for this one for a very long time. What's the mood around campus?
Oh man, it's very exciting. As you can imagine, it's not a ticket left for this game, and so our fans are excited, our students are excited. It's a lot of events going on all this week, and so we're waiting for the showdown on this weekend.
A lot of people in Baton Rouge have been wanting this for a long time. I know, in particular, the Southern community has wanted this matchup just to kind of, the gathering of the two Baton Rouge college teams. What were the challenges that prevented that from happening? Why is this happening for the first time in 2022?
Well, I just think the right timing and the right conversation. Now it took us about 4.5 years, for this to happen. And obviously, schedules are several years out. And I just think in lieu of, around this country or what's going on with bringing people together, I think it put emphasis when we were talking about trying to make this game happen as soon as possible. We went through a whole lot here, particularly in Baton Rouge and the state of Louisiana. I know everybody had their share of pain across this country, with COVID and a lot of things. And so I think, that we thought that athletics healed a lot of wounds. And this game, I think, is a perfect timing to bring everyone together, particularly in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Absolutely, no doubt. Now, what do you feel like this game is gonna get Southern more exposure than they typically would out of a, I don't know, any other SEC team big matchup they were gonna get? Do you think this has been? Are you expecting a good PR weekend for the Jaguars?
Well, I think it's a good PR weekend for both schools, right? This is
No
the first
doubt.
history. Uh, as long as these proud universities have been standing, that we have played football against each other. You're talking about, I know they are a Power Five institution that has a proud legacy and a great tradition, but also Southern University, uh, tradition at all level is very, very good. Our fan base is one of the best fan bases in the country, and so you have a lot of things uh, at different levels. Though we have a lot of parallel as it relates to programs, and so to bring these two institutions together at this particular time, you can see that's why it's not a seat ticket available
No doubt.
right now. And then you just early in the week away from the game. I think you heard that the athletic director said this game ranks right up there with the Alabama game. And so I think you have two proud traditions, and finally that they're able to come together, and we're able to come down there to LSU and hopefully have an exciting football contest, and also, all the tailgating and all the things that both universities do. I think is going to be on display.
Have you talked to any kind of financial experts or even your own financial in people about what's the economic impact of this game versus, another one of these games where you play a one off and you go on the road and go to their house and play? What's the difference economically?
Well, we were just talking that as it relates to this city of Baton Rouge last week, that there's over 100,000 people that'll be on that campus. There's not any hotel space available. I'm pretty sure that the restaurant's going to be at capacity. So you're going to have a lot of things going on that this city needed, and
Hmm.
probably won't know that final number until a couple of days after that game. But we envision that this is going to be the awakening of Baton Rouge again as it relates to people spending their dollars.
And do you think any of that money is going to particularly find its way to Southern more so than it normally would for a game, out of conference one off game like this, or is it going to be pretty standard, financial impact for the university?
Well, as it relates to find its way back to Southern. I don't know if that's the right terminology. I think it's going to find its way back to this city, and it's going to impact this city more than anything. I don't know if the money will really benefit uh, LSU or Southern. I mean, there's a benefit of a game guarantee for us from LSU. Obviously, LSU is benefiting well because this is probably going to be one of their highest attendance games, and therefore there's a sellout in their stadium. Anytime you can sell that out, 100 plus seats, and everybody's in the stadium. So there's money to be made in different ways, but the economic impact is going to really direct the city, and hopefully in return, that this will get this economy booming again. That in any way that can impact us a lot of different ways.
Well, the Jaguars are coming off an 86-0 victory for their opener. And this game has to mean a lot to a lot of these players. I know a lot of the football players, are from Louisiana, and we all know what LSU probably means to them. Have you gotten to check the energy of the team right now? Are they pretty high up, or how would you describe the mood, around that program itself?
But I think this is a program that it's a game changer in the city. When I say that is that, with this new transfer rule, this portal going on, as it relates to recruiting, we talk about the different levels, but everybody want to prove themselves, right? I think that they're pretty good players. And so our student athletes never had the opportunity, particularly in football, to play against LSU. Uh, all other schools in this state, probably except Birmingham State University, maybe Nichols, we never had the opportunity. Some of the other schools, the Northwest, the Southeast, and the McNeese, them played them several times. And so this is that one shiny moment that I call it for a lot of student athletes at our level and our team that want to get a chance and prove that they can play competitively at another level. And so I think this game really can help the program. Obviously, you don't want to go out there and it's a one-sided game. But if we can show ourselves competitively, I think that that it will help all coaches find a way to land in a lot of more recruits that probably are 3-star to 5-star.
Well, let me ask you this. You mentioned, almost like a showcase game and how, that means more with the transfer portal and all that good stuff. With the transfer portal being what it is, are you not, dissuading guys who have opportunities to look at, say, major SEC programs or something like that to go take their shot at that? Or are you trying to, how are you handling that?
Well, I think that's coach by coach, right? I think that's sport by sport and coach by coach. Certainly, our philosophy is that, and I believe that every transfer that's looking for a new situation is probably not uh, the kid for you, right? You got to go back and look at the kid history. You got to go back and look at graduation rate, what they doing in the classroom. You got to go back and look at personalities and character. And so I think it starts there first. But I think when you got a kid that honestly coming to your university, want to graduate and have high expectation for himself on this football field and for his team, I think that that's a winning combination. So I think you do have to be careful about, who are you choosing to transfer into your program. And so, but I also say that you have to be prepared because, there are guys that seem to be your best player that are getting away from you. And so you still, I call it, you still have to recruit the players that you have on your team at present. And so I think you have to do some things like we are doing now, playing the particular teams that we are playing. You're trying to make sure the uniforms, that they are wearing is stylish. You're trying to make sure that they fit this new mode of student athletes.
No doubt. It's an interesting world we're living in right now. I'm sure there's 1,000 different angles you can look at that. Would you be interested in future matchups with Southern and LSU?
Well, we have played them in the past in baseball quite a bit. That relationship was built up back in the day uh, with the Hall of Fame itself, Skip Bergman, and our own Hall of Famer Roger Cador. And so I don't know, to be honest, if you can roll out football like that as that often, but I would like to see this game probably take place not every 15 years. I like to see this. I like to see Southern be in the rotation like they rotated some of the other universities in the future. And
So
now
it's
in that rotation for LSU, that could be. I understand they do schedules 5 to even 10 years out, so you really, it's hard to dictate the next time a win, but at least for it to be a food for thought.
Well, so if it were a game that were on the schedule, say every 5 to 10 years, LSU and Southern played, would that be something that you'd say is pretty good?
Oh yeah, I think that'd be pretty good if we can get on each other's schedule. I think it. So the reason why I think it's good because of what the game is doing today, right?
Hmm.
What economic impact is bringing to the city, how it's bringing people together. All the events that's going on all week, the festivities that is bringing, that the popularity that is getting across this country. I think that is showcasing the institutions that we would never got this type of exposure for.
Now I'm gonna shoot my this one, Coach. Um, there's a little bit of rumor leaking out right now that there's some sort of band collaboration going with the Human Jukebox and the Golden Band for Tigerland. And the word is it's a battle of the bands type show. Can you give us any details on that? Are you willing to leak anything here to us?
Uh, you know, with the human jukebox himself, is very popular in the dancing dolls. I always tell everybody you have to be ready for the show, right? You don't go get popcorn at halftime. And so, and I know that these band directors, uh, can't. If you look at them and study them a little bit, they kind of come up some parallelism between the two of them as it relates to, uh, all Mr. Taylor come through Southern was played here, and obviously LSU director bands, Jackson State, and they had some rivalries, and they understand the same type of language when it comes to music. And so I do think that they will have their individual shows, and I think that we can look for them to collaborate on something great as well.
Absolutely. Well, I'm looking forward to it. That's gonna be the most fun part of the game to me is the getting to see the human jukebox in Tiger Stadium. Dream come true for me. I'm excited for that. HBCUs have become a major focal point over the last, I'd say, 2 3 years. It's picked up big time. We see Coach Prime doing his thing over there, Jackson State. But of course, Southern is our HBCU here in Baton Rouge. Coach Banks, what can people do to support our local HBCU?
Well, here's one of my defining moments that I think of leadership here, right, at Southern University. Um, and we just talked about what this game doing for the city of Baton Rouge, right? Um, and so I think that uh, our fans on football weekend, and I think our students, I think they patronize restaurants, they patronize businesses very well, and I'm looking to have conversation with people that uh, I know that LSU is our flagship school, and not complaining about that. But I do think that there should be a little bit more investment uh, here at Southern, um, from business owners around the city. You look around. We go to restaurants, we go shopping, we do things as well, and I think that there needs to be some type of give back. And when you start looking at you know sponsors as it relates to to Southern University and LSU is no comparison, but a lot of those places, we frequent very well too. I mean, we fly in the airports, we do a lot of things as well. And so I just think that need to be discussed, that need to be talked about a little bit. Obviously, I can't make anybody do anything, but
Mhm.
hopefully that there's an understanding that come out of this game that, um, that we're all in this together, and that obviously that, we need to invest in all. We need companies and people to continue to invest into Southern University as well. And I'm thankful for the corporate sponsors we have. They do a very good job. But there are a lot of more businesses out there that I think that can say hello to our student athletes and to our campus alone, that can particularly invest into what we're doing.
Well, Coach, if a business did want to invest in Southern's athletics or university itself, how would they get started on that?
Well, obviously, we have a whole department, right? And so, uh, myself and we have our corporate director of corporate partner relationship, the niche rankings on the website. We have our community partner relationship, Marlon Hollins on the website. Actually, you can contact me directly. So it's not hard to find us, right? And I have an open door policy. So if someone's willing to have a conversation, we're here to open that conversation up and to be able to have great dialogue.
Well, I'm glad I got to use my platform to give a little bit of a shout out to Southern University. I know what the university does for my city, so I'm very happy about that. Thank you for all you've done to set up this LSU Southern matchup. I'm very excited about it. Y'all can check out all those things he was talking about at gojagsports.com. All that stuff's available there. Y'all go make sure to go follow Coach Banks here, Coach at Coach Banks _SU on Twitter. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you much, man. Thank you for all you do for Baton Rouge as well, and I appreciate the interview.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
All right.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Woo! And thank you, Coach Banks. Thank you, Tremonti's, for making tonight possible. Preston Guy, are you of French descent? Do you say Guy like Guy Lafleur? Est-ce que tu penses je regarde français? No? I do speak French. It's a useless talent. But yeah, no. It's Preston Guy. Guy, not Guy. In French class, I did take on the name Guy, so my name was Guy. All right, let's see. All right. Aunt Marshall, my guy from the Golden Boot podcast. Good interview, Preston. Appreciate you, Aunt. French, my boy. Je peux parler français complète. Beaucoup, mes amis. Carl the cat, great interview. I thank you guys. I appreciate it. I was excited to bring him on and here because it's one of those things. Why haven't we had an LSU Southern matchup? I mean, the Baton Rouge Brawl. I mean, two cats in the same city. Let's make it happen. And you know how good it is for the economy and the local HBCU. It's a no-brainer. I think it should be an annual game, but what do I know? Anthony Richardson's going to be a friggin' problem. You're dang right he's going to be a problem, y'all. As a good football player, much better than I expected as a passer. I saw all the, first round mock draft stuff, but I didn't believe it because he was so bad. Drunk Vijo again. You catching my stream in the car. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I like those car streams. They're kind of fun. A lot of people talking about how many wins LSU is going to get. Like I said, I'm kind of at the 7 win mark. Like I had them at 8-4. I think they're going to get some things straightened out, but I think 7-5 is kind of what we're looking at with this team. And there's a lot of talent, and the potential definitely is there to turn it around into like a 9 or 10 win team. But not much more beyond that. It's just there's a lot of new faces and it takes a lot of work to get those new faces working together. Ooh. All right, well, give me a super chat first. American Patriot, one of our regulars on the show, every single show. Appreciate you. Great interview. American Patriot, thank you for being such a great supporter and always watching our interviews and stuff. I think we have Glenn Gilbo here in the chat. Is this Glenn Gilbo? Glenn, is that you, Swamp Cat? Newsflash, we should have hired Billy. Ooh. Well, let's do it now. You like him or not? Brian Kelly's going to be your coach for a while. He might as well make the best of it. And if he can get results like what he got the last 7 years at Notre Dame, it's a pretty good tenure. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to hold it together here. ESPN called it an instant classic. NCAA 14, instant classic score, 18-20, number 1 overall. Yeah, no, that's one of those, like, when it rates you in the video games, it's going to put you real high. Let's see here. Edo, Mississippi State is a must win. Well, we ain't musting nothing. I ain't seeing LSU beating Mississippi State. Mississippi State's a squad, y'all. And no doubt it is a squad. They are a finely tuned team. And Will Rogers was one of 2 SEC quarterbacks to throw for 2 touchdowns. You know what else is finely tuned? These socks from Dead Soxy, y'all. We got the Saints collection. We got the Mardi Gras collection. If you wear dress shoes, dress socks, these are where you go with. They've got their no slip, silicone, little padding. It is super soft, nice. They got their purple and gold colors here. And of course, they're doing their back to football kickoff special. So let's see. Hey guys, hey, guess what? My graphics are working again. Remember I told you the graphics weren't working? Here we go. Here's some graphics. Doxy. They're excited for football season getting back, just like we are. To celebrate, they're giving you an opportunity to score a free pair. Visit deadsoxy.com. We've got the link in the video of this description. And fill out the form to get started. You'll be alerted when new styles drop and receive information about exclusive promotions. When you receive information about those exclusive promotions, remember, this code TIGERBAIT is going to work for every one of them. So no matter what they say the code is, just put in TIGERBAIT. Because you're going to get the same promotion or the better of. If their promotion's not as good as ours, 25% off is what you always get with our code. If it's not as good, it'll default you to the new code. So do that so they know that their sponsorship dollars are worth it. Show off to all your friends and family with these cool LSU color socks. Remember Saints collection, remember Mardi Gras collection. Visit the team colorways page and pick out the color combination of your favorite team. Remember, promo code TIGERBAIT. Help us out, y'all. We got to pay some bills. We got to pay some of their bills to do that. So y'all get some socks. The Orléans. Since we're all talking about my French accent tonight, the Orléans. That's how you say that in French, y'all. And how do you say this in French? LSU fans are pathétique. LSU fans are a passionate group. Hey, but shout out to Florida State fans. We've had a lot of like opposing fan bases invading our chats and spaces over the last 2 weeks. I don't know. I feel like this is like a half Notre Dame channel at this point. But anyways, shout out to Florida State. Mostly classy fans. A couple trolls I had to ban this weekend. Mostly classy, just excited for their program. Obviously, biggest win since probably Jameis Winston left. Great program. They showed up about almost 50%. I'm going to put it right below 50% of the fans there. I think in those middle sections, LSU kind of, sprinkled in a few more fans there. Billy would have been a lot cheaper. That's the only argument. Boy, Billy would have been cheaper. Oh, so you are... No, I'm not French. Je suis de Louisiane, but I do know French. The only time I've ever gotten to use that talent is on this show right here, right now, and for my honeymoon when I went to Paris. All right. I'm going to put it up here. Got Pops in here trolling me, y'all. Hey, Preston, why not put a quarterback at quarterback, Nuss, and put a Daniels, a running back, at running back? We might develop a passing game. Because I think Daniels completed 75% of his passes and led a 99-yard drive. I understand where people are coming from wanting a guy with arm to get the ball to the receivers, but with that offensive line blocking the way they're blocking, what's Nuss going to do? He's going to run away and just buy himself less time. That's where it starts. It's not the quarterback that's the problem, okay? If you want to critique Daniels, I get it. There's some critiquable things, okay? He did miss on a few throws. He was a little too antsy a couple times, but it's not like, I mean, he's grading out as, one of the best players on the team. His receivers dropped 2 touchdowns. I mean, if he completes those 2, if Kayshon Boutte just looks and catches that ball, what's the conversation about Daniels? So he's got 3 touchdowns. If he catches the first touchdown on a beautiful fade, what's the conversation look like there? I mean, we're talking about an awesome game. If Kayshon Boutte just simply catches the ball, and that's really all you need. Last 2 drives, Edward O, obviously a Nussmeier fan. I get it. And that last drive, by the way, was one of the most impressive drives I think I've seen in a while. Ugh, guys, I'm fighting off the cough right now. Let's see if I can strengthen this one out. Go live for about... Y'all. All right, Mike, put yourself on the camera then. Turn the camera on, Mike, if you can come up in here and flex on my show. Go ahead. Pop you in here. Mike likes to come in here and mess with me every once in a while, throw himself on the screen here. Nobody wants to see that. See, my viewers just dropped, Mike. You just cut me off. 12% of all the ladies in the room just left. Like, they ran. They said, ugh. Let's see here. Here's a good point. Gotta, Trey. I don't know. Look, I'm not even going to say it. Rebuilding the whole football program takes some time, sadly. And that's what I think. That's why I'm not hitting the panic button. Like, yeah, it looked bad. Yeah, the team looked sloppy. Yeah, it looked like some poor coaching in that game. But like I said, you've got more new faces around this program than we've ever seen. Give it some time. Let the man build. All right. If you're a grown adult, do not post this comment in my chat, y'all. I'm going to torch you for it. First off, a prevent defense is a defense where you put 5 safeties back and you're just trying to prevent a Hail Mary touchdown pass. Second off, yes, they were playing soft coverage. It's 120 seconds to go 99 yards. You should play soft coverage. That's why you do it in that situation. You think Florida State doesn't know what plays are best to are you calling a blitz? Are you calling? No, most guys aren't. You might do it to shake some things up, but ultimately the odds of a guy driving 99 yards, especially when you're not giving him anything deep. Look, there were some impressive plays made on that. He hit them all. By the way, you want to talk about Jaden Daniels' accuracy? People thinking he's not. How accurate was he on that drive? How accurate was he when Kayshon Boutte wasn't even looking and he throws it at him and he still hits him on the number? You realize that's essentially a moving bullseye, moving blindly, and you just nail him, right? He's not even adjusting to the ball. That was an impressive drive, y'all. I'm not taking that away. I'm upset at how sloppy the team looked for 3.5 quarters too. I mean, it looked bad. That offense did not have it back together at all. But that was one of the most impressive damn drives I've ever watched. The only thing even close is Anthony Jennings against Arkansas in 2013. And that was mostly one blown coverage, and he just threw it up as high and far as he could to drive in Doral. All right. Here's Mike Scarborough. Here's his reason for not turning on the camera. I'm on a cheap Asus laptop about to watch another episode of The Boys. Webcam on this thing is broken. Are you saying I'm better? I'm stronger. I'm smarter. Mike is our Homelander, y'all. If y'all aren't catching this, I'm making Boys references. That's a great show if y'all haven't watched it, guys. What a great show. What's my grade for Denbrock? Coming out of the game, it was like a C-. Watching some film, I'm going to bump him up to like a good B-. B. I mean, it was more... It was not necessarily his fault. Now, the position coaches, they're getting a lot of heat. Brad Davis, rough day. Brian Polian, rough day. I think those issues are correctable. The offensive line, you've got to do better, man. I think the offensive line was just as bad as last year. Running back room, let's hope that they add another dimension by being able to do that. But it looked to me clearly like they were avoiding using that running back position. Let's see here. No, Edward O, let me be clear. it sounds a little bit like I'm fanboying Jaden Daniels, and I get it. That's a fair like reason, but I'm also saying that there's some things you can criticize. I just think that there's more things you can criticize on literally every other position unit on the offense. I think that Jaden Daniels was like your lone bright spot on the offense. I mean, I guess Malik Neighbors on offense played fine, but he muffed 2 punts. So I'm going to sit here and say Malik Neighbors played great. I mean, I know it wasn't on offense, but you get what I'm saying. But yeah, he was a little too, like, there was a few plays where he just took it and ran too much. And the coaches talked about that post game. Let's see here. All right, I'm going to get in last ad of the night, and then I'm going to get to all y'all's comments here. But shout out to, remember, I tried this earlier, y'all. Let's see. Booyah! We got game day specials at Celebrity Theaters. Remember, y'all, they're doing a free watch party at Celebrity Theaters off there at George O'Neill and Jones Creek. Used to be the old Oak Cinema 8. It ain't no old Oak Cinema 8 now, y'all. It's got fancy leather reclining seats. It's locally owned, which means you're guaranteed good service, a clean facility every single time. Great prices. As you can see here, they're doing beer and wine specials, $4 and $5. Y'all, this is a movie theater. Okay, this is going to be cheaper than going to Tiger Stadium. So if you're not one of the people who bought the sold out stadium in Tiger Stadium, go check out Celebrity Theaters. There was quite a few open seats available at the theater this weekend for the opener. We're trying to spread the word. Y'all go out. I mean, it's free cover. You don't even have to buy one of these drinks. There's bars and stuff. The combo nacho, you're going to get a soda and nachos, $10. Again, what even theater are you going to get to top that? So they also have, frozen daiquiris and all that good stuff. On Thursdays, they're going to do their St. Jude special. If you're looking for philanthropic support, here you go. Join us each Thursday in September as we support St. Jude by donating 10% of all sales all day. So y'all get out there and check it out. Remember, they do have weekly specials as well. So that is Celebrity Theaters. Y'all go check. Guys, look, I picked up this sponsorship for Celebrity. I reached out to them because I really wanted to support that theater. It is an awesome theater. It's like the hidden gem nobody knows about over there on George O'Neill and Jones Creek. Let's see here. Golden Boot Podcast. Good evening, Pooh Bear. What's up? Golden Boot Podcast. Y'all go check them out. I like those guys. They're good good guys. Aunt Marshall is firing back at why not Nussmeier because Jaden Daniels escapes pressure better, 100%. Daniel should have had 2 touchdowns. Yeah, I mean, I agree. These are all points I've been echoing all night. Oh, them nachos look good. Y'all know if y'all join us at the Twitter Spaces, we talk some food. Hey, where's Chris at? Someone bring Chris from Twitter Spacers up in here, and let's get him commenting on those nachos, eh? I know it's not a honey bun with cheese on it, but you get what I'm saying. I was on the Jaden train until people acted like the O-line would be solid. And then I said, getting us out there. 38 passing yards at half won't cut it in the SEC, fellas. It won't, but if the receivers just catch the gosh darn ball, it's a lot more than 38 yards. But I just don't understand what Nuss. I get Nuss, quick release, pretty arm, lots of talent. He hasn't made great decisions under pressure, and there's going to be a lot of pressure. I mean, maybe give him a look, but I like Coach Kelly said, right now, Jaden's our one. You're going to roll with Jaden until he gives you a reason not, and he didn't really give you a reason not. A lot of other players gave you a reason why not. You should be talking about, do we put in Tremont Shorts? You should be doing like Critty Gritter here, Critty Gitter. When does John Emery return? He'll be back, not this game, but next game. And I think you need them too. I think the thing is about running back room, they're avoiding using those running backs because they know they ain't got enough of them. They know good ones banged up. Josh Williams is a guy who's, he's not your typical third string back at LSU. Usually you got some blue chip or 5-star on the third string waiting on his chance to be the dude. He ain't your typical guy back there. And then you've got Noah Kane. And I think that they were just bare bones, and they put the team on his back. Dog, my leg broke. I got the team on my back, dog. Darren Sharper. That was what Jaden Daniels was last night. He was Darren Sharper. No, not Darren Sharper. He was the receiver guy from that clip. Y'all know who I'm talking about. All right, let's see here. Putting a lot of blame. Oh, look, man. Butte had a rough game. And so did Neighbors, by the way. Neighbors muffin 2 punts. Yeah, those guys deserve a lot more blame than Jaden Daniels does. Jaden Daniels was a little too run happy, but nothing that's like inexplicably like costing you the game. Nothing crazy like that. Let's see here. The state of the program. Sad LSU fan. LSU stinks. We suck again. Yeah. And this is exactly where I'm getting at from James Phillip. There are a lot worse things than on the team that needs fixing than the quarterback. That's the thing. Everybody wants to go to the quarterback. Your backup quarterback's always going to be the most popular guy on your team, especially coming out of a quarterback like competition. But guys, that ain't it this year. That ain't the problem. Anyways, all right, guys, I appreciate y'all for watching your LSU football fix tonight. Remember, we've got tons of great content at tigerbait.com. Got game film on recruits coming out. We have exclusive interviews, Mike show, game story, Brian's instant analysis and midweek column he does. Y'all go get subscribed, tigerbait.com, $99 for the year. That's the special. That's the one that keeps your wife from yelling at you because it only gets the credit card bill once a year. Who cares? Also, it's cheaper that way. So that's what I go with. Y'all, this is one of the fastest growing YouTube channels in the LSU content industry. Hit that subscribe, hit that bell button. Mike goes live with Buddy tomorrow night. We're going to do our post-game shows. We're trying to throw in some pre-game shows too, as we did on this week. So y'all hit that bell, hit that subscribe. If you hit the bell, you're not going to get overwhelmed with content, particularly live content. I know some channels have 53 weekly shows. We do like 4 or 3 really. So y'all get subscribed. I appreciate all y'all support. This show has grown tremendously over the years. I appreciate all y'all for that. Y'all go support my sponsors. Go hit subscribe. I will see y'all next week after a big win over Southern.